Hey, welcome back. I'm so glad you made it back for part 2 of my dream closet makeover on a budget. I've been working on and off on this for the past 3 weeks and it's finally finished except for a few final details. I wanted to show you guys everything that I've done to the closet to get to this point. In part 2, I finished installing all of the plywood supports. I installed some cubbies that go along the entire top of the closet. And then I installed some nice face trim to all of the plywood pieces. So everything is nice and smooth and seamless. And then I sanded everything like crazy. It was a huge mess in here. And then I finally painted. So I painted the entire built-ins, even the back wall, and I also painted my concrete floors. So I actually have another YouTube video on how to paint your concrete floors if that's something that you're interested in. But I just wanted to show you guys how I've made it to this point. So let's check it out. I started by installing the top shelf all along the top of the closet. I had to use some wood shims to shim up some of the vertical supports because they weren't tall enough, and I had to make sure that my top shelf was nice and level. I also installed the middle shelf going all around the closet. I just drilled some pocket holes in the plywood and then secured it with some pocket screws. Now I can start working on all of the other shelving. All of the shelving is in. These are gonna be shoe racks, and same thing on this side. The next step is to build some cubbies to go on top all the way around. And I'll have to cut these little shims off. Okay, so all the organizers are in. I just added the cubbies up to the top, all the way around. I thought about doing a few little spacers in between so it matched the vertical support going up, but I think I'm just gonna leave it open like that so I can add some nice baskets up there. Now, the next step, I'm going to add trim. So I left a little gap between the vertical support and the base here, so I can just add a piece of trim and it's going to be flush. So every single piece of plywood will have a piece of trim So everything is gonna look nice and seamless. There's gonna be a piece of trim running all the way up, so you won't see any gaps. Okay, quick closet update. I finished installing all of the trim, all of the nail holes are filled, and then I sanded the entire surface like 4 times with rough grit and then fine grit sandpaper. So everything is nice and smooth. It was a complete dust storm in here, so I had to clean everything out. I also patched all of the holes in the drywall, and now the next step for me is to caulk all the seams. So everything will be looking nice and seamless and pretty, and then I can prep for paint. So I'm gonna go pick up my paint from Sherwin-Williams today, and I cannot wait to get this thing painted. So I had a tough time trying to decide what paint color to use for my closet. I thought about doing all white, but I thought that might be too much white, and I think entirely white closets are a little overdone. And I also wanted it to look custom. So I found this inspiration picture from Studio McGee of their kitchen. I'm obsessed with their style, but they used the same creamy white color and they used gold knobs for their kitchen cabinets. So that was my inspiration. I went to our local Sherwin-Williams and had them color match the exact same color that they used in their kitchen, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It feels nice and warm and cozy in here, and I'm glad I didn't go all white. I started by priming everything. I got this stain blocking primer / sealer from Sherwin-Williams, and I used 1 whole gallon for the entire closet and my dresser drawers. The IKEA dressers came with wooden knobs, and instead of buying all new knobs, I decided to get some gold spray paint, and I think it turned out pretty great. Now it's time for paint. I bought this Pro Classic Smooth Enamel Finish for trim and doors paint from Sherwin-Williams. I had them color match Benjamin Moore's Creamy White, and they were able to get the perfect color match. I used 1 entire gallon for the whole closet for 1 coat, and I even bought another gallon just so I could do a second coat in some places that needed it. Now it's time to tackle the concrete floors. I started by using a scraper to scrape up any high spots from paint or carpet glue. Next, I used some concrete and mortar repair to fill in all of the holes in the concrete. Then I did 1 coat of the Behr concrete and masonry bonding primer. I let that dry overnight. And then I finished it off with 2 coats of Behr porch and patio floor paint in the color Park Avenue. Last, I installed some base trim. This is 4 1/4 inch base trim and it fit my platform perfectly. I cut the ends at 45 degrees so that they fit nice and snug. And then I used some caulk to fill in all of the gaps and seams. And then I finished it off with the same paint as my built-ins. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not 100% finished with the closet yet. I have to install the closet rods and the drawer knobs. I might do something with this light fixture, and then I have a few other final touches to add. So in my next video, I'm going to reveal the whole closet with all of the final touches. I'm also going to go over the cost breakdown of this closet and also what it would have cost if we went with the IKEA pack system or went with a different custom closet company. I already picked out a cute mirror and a rug and some other little closet organizers, so I can't wait to get that stuff in here. I can't wait to get our clothes in here and finally have our closet back. If you are interested in DIYing your own closet, I wrote up a nice blog post on this entire project and I go into way more detail on the blog. So I will link that blog post below in the description. Go check it out if you want to. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in and watching my video. I hope you come back for the final reveal and I hope you love this closet as much as I do.